What's up, folks? Ryan from Oakland Ghosts, and today I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this product for nearly 2 years. It had an awesome trailer, kind of launching it and getting it into everybody's head, and it had a good response from kind of GearTube and other synth folks. Went on to have a very successful Kickstarter. I was lucky enough to get in as backer number like 30 and an early bird. So I'm probably one of the first people in the world to have received this. They just shipped them out over the weekend. It's Monday, September 15th today, and it literally just arrived at my doorstep. I can't wait to share it with you. I hope it's going to be awesome. I don't know because I haven't opened the box yet. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to show you the box because it looks beautiful, and we're going to open it up and see what's inside together, and then I'm going to try to plug it into my studio and we'll give it a whirl. We'll see what it sounds like. I'm probably going to do a lot of videos on this in the future, so if you decide that you like the surprise in the box and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and come back because there's going to be a lot of videos covering this over the next couple weeks. All right, let's get to the unboxing. Yes, folks, that is right. This is the Alt from Cyma Forma. This is a French company of two guys, Vincent and Vincent. Look at this. They even gave me a little handwritten thank you card. Merci. Am I saying that right? That's French for thank you, of course. V and V, Victor and Victor, those are the creators of Alt. Let's see what it says on the front here. It says abandoned normal instruments. And why is that? That's because this is, for all intents and purposes, as far as I can see, a pretty strange and crazy new type of instrument. So it's described on the side here as a Soundscape Synthesizer. So what I liked about this, what I saw in the Kickstarter, I'm first of all a sucker for supporting small creators that are just kind of pushing the bounds and doing new things. I like weird interfaces. This one, as you're about to find out, has a very strange interface. Hopefully it's friendly because if it's not, then a weird interface doesn't serve so much. But at the time, I was working specifically with the Sound Studio and the Deluge, and I was starting to do more kind of droney and ambient and generative, semi-generative kind of experiments. And that's when this Kickstarter launched, right in the pocket when I was starting to experiment with this stuff. And that's kind of what this is designed for, is just really moving soundscapes that can evolve over time and stuff like that. I think that's based on what I've seen so far. Looks like I got to cut the side here to get in. I hate to cut that pretty sticker. I think if you had to place it somewhere, I mean, obviously I haven't listened to it yet, so I just don't know. But if you had to place it somewhere on a spectrum to compare it to, it feels like it's kind of a cousin of maybe the Lyra and say the Solar 42, kind of somewhere in the middle between those two. And so it's, you know, it's for just making soundscape. Oh, whoa, dude, look at that. That is sick. Got a nice print right there. Dude. Reveal the primary essence of sound and expand the realms of sonic exploration through intricate motion. Some sounds resonate with us in mysterious, intriguing ways. I like waves better. As if they were part of something bigger. As if they were holding answers. Well, that's super awesome. Look at that. Got a nice print in there. I like that. Gonna have to frame that bad boy. All right, so this one's fun over here. Once the search is in progress, something will be found. Dude, I love the packaging. It's so, whoa, there it is. Look at that bad boy. Dude, that looks awesome. So over here, so what you're gonna notice is, I think we can just get it out of there. It's actually got a printed handbook. Ooh, it's nice and heavy. I like that. It's got ooh, that is a really nice handbook. So, what you're seeing here is you got your oscillators over here. You've got basically a couple filters over here. And then you've got movement. This will be modulation sources. It's all, as you can see, it's all faders. It's all faders and knobs and buttons. No keyboard. It's also got like light sensors and sound sensors and everything. All your modulation sources are with a pin matrix. So I believe these little bad boys in here are going to be our pins. Let's take a look. Yeah. So this is, so instead of using like patch cables like you would typically use on like modular or semi-modulator, you use these pins. So you go down one, over to one, and that's how you link the things up. And it's got this super awesome case. Look at that. Very cool design. Dude, Victor and Victor, you guys nailed it with the design. Everything in this whole packaging is just absolutely stunning. It's really beautiful. All right, we also got a actual printed manual. Look at that. Also with an eye to style. Look at that. Oh, it's just beautiful. Cool, man. Oh, I love it. It's a good looking manual. It's nice and hefty. Scale modes. All right, it's got everything we're gonna need. We're definitely gonna want to keep that to the side because Lord knows how this thing looks. What else do we got? And then probably just power would be my guess. Let's see. Guess this would probably be your power cord over here. Yep, okay, so that's good. It's got a variety of plugs depending on where you are in the world so that you can be sure that whatever you got is going to work. Very nice. Yeah, and that's your power. All right, so that's the box. I mean, like I said, it's beautiful. I love it, but I'd love it even more if we could hear it. So why don't we get this thing set up in the studio? I'll plug it in. I'm not gonna do an overview today. Maybe I'll give a general overview. I don't know. I really don't know much about it yet. I've literally just opened the box. But let's see if we can get it working. I'll give you an overview as I understand it, and we'll just start playing with it, and I'll give you my first impressions. How's that? Sound good? All right. Give me a sec to get this set up, and we'll get going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the Cyma Forma Alt, the Soundscape Synthesizer. It's based on kind of making drones and random generated patterns or using LFOs to generate melodies and just kind of build a crazy soundscape. It's kind of just like a sonic playground from what I understand. So yeah, let's just turn it on and I'll give you a general overview as I understand it. This is my first time using it, so it's kind of split up into, well, I guess 4 different sections really, but it's really the main 3 here are voice, alter, and movement. Now in the voice section, these are all your oscillators. So you have 5 oscillators. The first oscillator is just a sine wave, and this one is free running. It's got a coarse knob. So you can kind of adjust where you want it to go. But this one's just kind of a free running playing. Each one of these oscillators has a button to cue it. And that works like a gate, organ style, just on and off. The bottom is amplitude, so that's your volume. And the top part is your frequency. We're gonna find the brown note, Jesus. That gets super low. So I imagine this one would be really good for like drones, just kind of adding in that background texture, just getting something thick on the bottom end there. The other 4 oscillators can all be synced to scale. They could be so quantized basically. The oscillator 2 is kind of like your bass. Same thing, we got your amplitude and you got your filter. Oscillators 3 and 4 are the same. And then oscillator 5 is an octave up. So that'd probably be a good one for like your melody or something like that. So you got your bass, you got 2 more that are the same, and then you got one that's up high, and you got your droney, subby sine wave. So all these ones, you have 2 different, these are all analog by the way. The first one is completely a VCO. This one is a digitally controlled oscillator, but the signal path is still all analog. It's still an analog filter. It's just a digital controller that's controlling it so that it doesn't go out of tune. Depending on how you have it set up, obviously. If you have it set, for example, right now, the scales are all dictated. I have these all set up to quantize, and that's happening over here. If you switch this notes knob, you can see it gives you different scales, and it'll give you some notes in each of those. I mean, let's do that one, sure. And when I click it, boom. So those are the only notes that are going to cue when I go up the frequency. So right? It's quantized. I could turn that off, and now it's just a free running frequency, and you just got to find the note you like. But for now, I have all of these set to quantize to scale, and so that's being dictated over here by your scale. So these, if you'll notice, let's go back to chromatic. As you can see from these LEDs, the way they're laid out, it's like a keyboard sideways, right? So here's your C, C sharp, you know, going up the scale. It just goes up the whole keyboard. Those are all the notes. So when you're picking a scale, it's showing you based on C, based on, a tonic note of C. These are the notes that would play within that scale. And if you look in the instructions, it has a key. Let's see if we can find it. It'll show you like what all the different ones are. Yeah, so you got all this. You got minor seventh, you got minor pentatonic. Let's do minor pentatonic. That'd be fun. So this is chromatic. That's minor seventh. This is minor pentatonic. Sure, that sounds fun. So that's a minor pentatonic in the tonic note of C. And the way that you change your tonic note, say you don't want it to be in C, is you flick this down and you can move this guy up and down the notes to find the notes you want. So let's say we wanted it to be an E minor pentatonic scale. Boom, now we're in an E minor pentatonic scale. Make sense? Simple, simple, simple. The other things on the left we have, obviously this is the volume, this is your main volume, and this is noise, which is going through the filter. You can use this as a modulation source as well. Up top, for the first oscillator, you have a coarse knob so that you can get some additional frequency. And then up here for all of these ones, this is a pan actually. Simple, simple, so you could... And then lastly, each one of these, you can do two different shapes. I'm not sure what the shapes are. It kind of feels to me like it's, I guess it's a pulse and a triangle maybe, or a saw. It just sounds a little more saw when I do that. But you know what it is? It's a triangle and a saw. There's your saw, there's your triangle. That's what it looks like to me. That's my guess anyway, by looking at the illustration. Moving on, so after things come through here, let's just build up a chord real quick. How about with just these things? Sure. So now we got a chord there. So typically you're droning on it. And the way that you can create a gate for that comes over in the movement section, which we'll get to. So after going from, let's just leave that chord going. After we go from the voices section, we go to the alter section. In the alter section are your filters. You have two filters. They run in series. So, filter one goes into filter two. They're both, right now I have the resonance, at about halfway, I guess. Let's raise up that resonance. It's pretty screamy, almost like an MS-20. Whoa. Yeah, you can definitely get in the screamy range. Sounds pretty nice. And this is all just the alt. I'm not running it through anything else right now. So the filters can be either low pass or high pass. Right? And they could, I guess if you put them up top, that'd kind of be like a notch. It's taking out the mids. It feels like they definitely can self-oscillate, so I bet you could actually get 7 oscillators out of this, because you can probably get self-oscillation going on these guys. Filter sounds really nice. Yeah, you can do one way. Now you basically effectively have a bandpass, I guess. Let's leave it on low for now. A little prettier sounding. Let's get a little prettier. All right, moving along. On the bottom here, you actually have a thing called ripple. And I'm not sure what those do. Sounds like it's pushing noise. And the noise is white noise. I'm gonna leave a little bit of noise. Why not? Hello, hello, hello. Ooh. Hello, hello. Ooh, it's bringing in this. Hello? It's bringing in the mic. That's what it's doing. So there's a microphone here. I have the gain all the way up. So I think when I'm rippling through here, it's pulling the mic in through there. I don't know. I'm sure you could do some weird stuff with that. That'd be cool. All right, moving on. What we have is, this is your delay. So let's go feedback, I don't know, half maybe. I'm gonna just pan these around a little bit. Cool. You know what? Let's get weirder. So this next section is movement, and this all depends. And for the movement section, that's all going to be dependent on basically the mod matrix over here. And the way the mod matrix works on the out is it's a pin matrix. So instead of using cables like on a semi-modular or a modular setup to patch things around, you basically use a pin. And so you've got LFO1, LFO2, which is LFO1, LFO2, and then you have your random, which is basically like a sample and hold, and then you have the outline, and the outline's actually a pretty interesting one. You can use the mic as an envelope follower, so if you had other gear that was playing, or you were in a club playing and there's ambient noise and stuff like that, you could actually use that as an envelope follow, and you could use that as a modulation source for on some of the gear. So it's got, you know, mix. Hello. Ooh, I can hear myself coming in through here. So we can now use my voice, for example, as a modulation source to modulate stuff. But you can also patch in a MIDI clock, or you could patch in a CV, or just an audio from one of your other gears, so that it'll basically sync up, and you can use that as pulses, basically, or modulation sources using the patch bay. So let's start. Why don't we do something like, why don't we do LFO1 to cutoff? And we'll just bring these up. So there's our chord. So for LFO1, which is this one, at the top here, this is your shape. So to the right is a triangle, to the left is going to be a square. For this, let's do a triangle. We're getting something. Ooh, that's high audio range. I like that. But let's stay here for now. All right, let's try something else. Why don't we see if we can make one of these do a melody? I'm going to do the random, which is going to be this one, the sample and hold. And I'm going to send that to the frequency of oscillator 5. We're getting something on. Very cool. So it's basically just generating a melody based on, you know, how much I want, how fast I want it to go. I'm gonna leave it there just because I don't want to touch it. I kind of like what we got right here. Let's try doing some more weird stuff. What if we can do? We could probably do random to one, maybe to the bass note. Oscillator 2, that's oscillator 3, isn't it? Okay, my bad. Let's go oscillator 3. if we used like LFO2 instead? This better. So screw that. But let's get, I definitely want to get some more cutoff. Let's mess with this cutoff. I mean, that's pretty cool. Definitely getting weird now, isn't it? go, guys. I think that's going to do it for tonight. That's a fun little experiment. That's your basic overview of the alt. What are my first impressions? I mean, that was pretty fun. I'm just sitting here jamming. I'm just goofing around and seeing what we can get from it. I really like it. I'm definitely going to dive more in depth and see if we can start figuring out what we can do with it. It's, you know, it's an interesting instrument for sure. I think this is going to take more of a deep dive, but I hope this at least introduced you to it. They're not available to the public yet. I'm not sure when they will be. Right now, they're just kind of handling all the backers, and like I mentioned, I was one of the first early backers, so I'm probably one of the first people in the world to even have one, or at least one of the first people in the United States. I haven't seen anyone else out there with one yet, so I just wanted to share it with you. I think they'll be releasing it to the public after all the backers get covered, and there was quite a few. The Kickstarter was very successful. To be honest with you, it's a little hard to get even once they're available. I think I had a lot of issues with duties. It was very expensive thanks to the tariffs and such. Hopefully some of that gets resolved. It sounds like there were some mistakes and I was significantly overcharged, but it was pretty cost prohibitive just to get it into the country. Hopefully that gets figured out by the time this goes public and everybody else starts being able to get their hands on one. But my first impressions overall is I think the design is fantastic. I think the design's just really pretty. The packaging was pretty, and it does feel very user-friendly. It feels very easy, it wants you to engage with it. It really wants you to play with it. So yeah, I think I'm going to like it. I think it's going to be a fun thing. It'll be an interesting thing to build around or to add texture to existing songs. I think it could be really cool for ambient, but that wasn't very ambient. That whatever we just did right there was pretty fun. So yeah, stick around. I'm definitely going to be doing more videos on this. If you like what you saw, I'm definitely going to be doing more. So make sure to hit that subscribe. Hope this was interesting. I hope it was informative. And if it was, stick around. We'll be doing lots more alt content. Thanks for joining me, Ryan from Oakland Ghost, and I'll see you next time. Yikes. All right, bye guys.